Blog Talk Radio.
I am the architect. I created the Matrix. I've been waiting.
What do all men with power want? More power.
What we do in life echoes in eternity.
Be on your guard. There are older and fouler things than orcs in the deep places of the world.
Doesn't it never wake you in the middle of the night? The feeling that someday they will pass that foolish law, or one just like it, to come for you and your children.
You know, Magneto's right. There's a war coming. You sure you're on the right side?
Don't unlock doors you're not prepared to go through.
We tell you only what you need to know. As always, we maintain plausible denial.
You can deny all the things I've seen, all the things I've discovered, but not for much longer. Because too many others know what's happening out there. And no one, no government agency has jurisdiction over the truth.
Hello there. Welcome to Cryptic Knowledge Radio. I am Mike, also known as Mr. Top Secret, coming to you live from Cryptic Knowledge Radio and also the UFOBunker.com. I'll be your host for the next hour while I interview Ralph Epperson. Today's date is Tuesday, March 2nd, 2010. Due to the fact that this radio show is only an hour long, it's impossible for me to be able to gather all this research into such a short show. I will still accept phone calls within about 20 minutes towards the end of the show. And many of you can go to the site and also go to the chat room. You can also ask questions there, and if I'm able to put a question in, I will. I can't promise that. And this is my first interview on Cryptic Knowledge Radio, and I'm very happy to be able to do my first interview with Ralph Epperson. I have his book, The Unseen Hand, and you can also find some of his links and some of his material on Cryptic Knowledge Radio. For those who can't listen to the show live, you can also download the episode and listen to it like a podcast. So I know it's early in the morning, and this is the only time I really have this interview for the next couple of days is in the morning time. So that's why we're doing it early in the morning. But let's see. All right, a little bit about Ralph. Ralph Epperson is a historian, author, and lecturer who has been researching the conspiratorial view of history, the view that the major events of the past have been planned years in advance by a central conspiracy. For 40 years, he has written and produced 4 best-selling books: Unseen Hand, The New World Order, Masonry Conspiracy Against Christianity, Jesse James, United States Senator, 9 booklets, 12 videos, 2 DVDs. He is a graduate of the University of Arizona, but freely admits that what he has learned since graduation has taught him that the most of what he learned in college in history and political science simply is not true. He practiced that his research has proven to him that there has been an archive conspiracy in the world planning major wars, depressions, and inflations years in advance. Many of those who have read his material and viewed his videos state that they are the best in the market on the subject. If you want to know how this conspiracy has operated in the world from one of the theory's best teachers and writers, you will want to obtain all of his materials. All right, so since we only have an hour, let's go ahead and get Ralph Epperson on air. Hello, Ralph. Are you there?
Yes, sir. I am indeed, Mike. Thank you very much.
All right. I thank you for being my first interview here at Cryptic Knowledge Radio.
Well, it's okay. It's 8 o'clock here in downtown Tucson this morning, so it's a little bit early, but that's okay. I'm ready.
Okay. I see. All right. What inspired you to get into this research that you're in?
Well, I moved from Arizona, where I went to got to graduation from college and went to California for my first job, and I didn't know anything about California politics, so I joined the Young Republicans. And I met a young man who, also a college graduate, but had been in the group for some time before me, and he said, "You've got to start reading, Ralph." And I said, "I don't want to read." He said, "Yes, you've got to read revisionist history." And I said, "What is that?" He said, "That's my point. You don't know, do you?" I said, "I don't have any idea what you're talking about." So I started reading, and I haven't stopped since. I'm still reading, although not with such fervor as I had for the last 40 years, because I've now been able to prove from their own literature there's an actual conspiracy at work in America, no question. I'm no longer called a conspiracy theorist. I'm a conspiracy realist. This thing is real. It's happening right now in front of us, and that's why I write books and do talk shows and do seminars, lectures, whatever I can.
Yes. Who are the global elite who are controlling and manipulating our governments in the economy?
Well, of course, by definition, let's start this way. This is a conspiracy, and by definition, they operate in secret, so they're not going to tell us with only a few exceptions. There are some. Every once in a while, you'll find people who admit it, like David Rockefeller in his biography made that comment back in the back of the book that he was a conspirator and proud of it. But very rare, it's not very common. But you don't need to know who they are to know there's a conspiracy. And the greatest proof of that is in the Kennedy assassination. President Kennedy was assassinated in 1963. That's over 40-some years ago. 80% of the last poll I saw was 80% of the American people believe there was a conspiracy, but no one knows who did it. But we can know there's a conspiracy. Once we know that, then we can protect our presidents. So it is possible to know there's a conspiracy without knowing who they are. There are clues that the Masonic Lodge is directly involved, the New Age religion, Council on Foreign Relations, you name it. There's a bunch of groups, but that's only down at the bottom. There are layers above that we're still investigating.
Yes, sir. One of the questions that's always been on my mind is the CFR, which is Foreign Relations for those who don't know what it is, and the Trilateral Commission, the Bilderberg Group, and many other secret societies out there, including the Freemasons. Are they all on the same team? Are they all working for one agenda, one goal, which is New World Order?
That's right.
Can you
by the way, say it again?
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, understand this. The best example I can use is the back of our dollar bill. There's a pyramid on the back of our dollar bill. No one knows why. Well, I know why, and the Masons know why, because they designed it. But that also is symbolic of this conspiracy. The lower layer blocks are bigger and more easily defined, and we can define who they are. The CFR, Trilateral Commission, and the Bilderbergers, and some of the Skull and Bones, some of the others. But as you go up the side of the pyramid, it's more secret, and the more secret it is, the more difficult it is to find it. But I've gone up beyond the CFR, Trilateral Commission, into those groups that are even more secret, but you can find out about it. That's why I use the Masonic Lodge. The Worldwide Freemasonry Organization puts it in writing what they believe in, and therefore you can use it. It's documented. And that's why I use the Masons. They are directly involved in America, directly involved in setting this nation up, directly involved in the assassination of President John Kennedy, you name it. They've been involved and are major players in our past. For instance, there are something like 15 of our presidents have been members of the Masonic Lodge. That's about 1 in every 3.
Yes, sir. What connection does Freemasons have with Egypt, sir?
Oh, it's just their story is they base their rituals on the Solomon's Temple, which was built in Israel. The Egyptian pyramids are connected because the pyramid on the back of our dollar bill is symbolic of the Great Pyramid of Giza outside of Cairo, Egypt. And that pyramid, the one that's more commonly discussed because there are passageways inside, that one, it was never built as a tomb. It was built as a temple of initiation